705 94.5 PST, your number one hit music station. This time next hour, we got the first code for you for 30 grand in your hand. That could be that trip to Hawaii you never thought you could afford. You could be off on a jet plane. All right, it's Chris and Joe and Gianna. Kind of cloudy out there today, up to about 73 though. Wow, that's nice. Right now, it's a little chilly. It's 43 at PST.
So I want to know, if your Starbucks order sat out for 10 minutes without the workers giving it to you, would you ask them to make you a new drink? So I went to Starbucks and I mobile ordered, which, you know, it's just easier. You walk in and I kind of want to know if I'm being a Karen. So I go in and my order on the app said it was ready. So I go inside and I'm standing there and I'm waiting and there's nothing ready. And you know what? Whatever. Everybody, they have things to do. It's not that it wasn't.
Was it busy?
It was not busy. I was the only person in the Starbucks. And I was
early.
And I was the only person on the mobile order screen.
Oh.
But you know what? Whatever. They're just opening. That wasn't the issue. It's that when I got there, I realized that my coffee was on the back counter, half made. But you know how when your coffee sits there and the ice starts melting and you can see the water start building up and there's no ice left in your coffee? Well, I could see that happening. So the worker, I finally get a worker. I'm like, hi, excuse me. I don't know if this is my drink over here or not, but it said it was ready on the app.
What do you mean? I have a question. What do you mean you finally got the worker? You were the only one in the place. Where was the worker?
They were in the back setting up. Stuff because I was there very early. Okay. Very early.
But they didn't know you were there at first?
No. So, and they were like, oh, what's your name? And I was like, oh, Gianna. They go, yeah, this is yours. Oh, sorry. I started this like 10 minutes ago. I forgot to finish it. It just needs sweet cream.
Oh, so they admitted it.
I was like, oh, that's okay. And then I get it. And all the ice is melted. It was like watered down. And I was so late. I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just going to take it. And I left. But in that moment, I get so much anxiety when it comes to speaking up at restaurants. I don't like it.
Like
I know
defending yourself?
Yeah. And I just know it's really... The restaurant industry and just all that stuff is really hard with customer service. I don't want to be that person.
I'm not a good one to ask because I don't drink coffee. So I like when you say it's watered down, like I would have said, just fill it up with more ice. But then
it gets more watered down.
Okay. But does that matter with coffee? I guess it does.
Yeah. Like it takes, when I got there, I could see the top, the ice was melting and there was just a layer of water on the top because it sat there for 10 minutes.
Can't they just put more ice in?
But then it's still watered down. Like the ice already melted.
So if I have coffee, I'm getting iced coffee. Mm-hmm. And to me, more ice, the better. I guess if it's melted, then it would taste a little different.
Exactly. Like it's watered down.
Yeah,
and it's just
I hear you.
Not as strong.
Okay.
And it's just, I hate to be a Karen and say it, but it's just not what I ordered.
But now if he admitted that he hadn't touched it in 10 minutes, you'd think he would have... Not the sense. I don't want to say the sense, but you'd think he'd realize that all the ice would have melted.
Right.
And to maybe get you a new one, or maybe he's thinking it doesn't really matter.
And what made me think I had an argument was it wasn't finished and waiting for me in the mobile checkout, area, and I was late. If I were late and it started melting, that's my own fault. But it was half made and I was watching it melt for 10 minutes.
For lack of better words here, you're saying basically it was screwed up?
I guess.
Because if an order is screwed up, you probably should get a new one, right? But is melted ice
considered a
definition of screwed up?
Yeah, I kind of felt bad. So I don't know. And then I like the coffee was fine, but I could taste when I got it, there was 3 ice cubes that were still frozen, nothing else.
I'm tending to think they're not going to lose any money over a half finished coffee. So maybe good customer service would have been to give you a new one if you would have asked nicely.
But is it even?
I don't know.
Did I have room to say? Yeah. Do I have a case? I want to know.
Case here. Should she have gotten another drink? 60924. It's Chris and the crew on 94.5 PST, your number one hit music station. Go to commercial free at 10. Another 94-minute commercial free music sweep. It's over an hour and a half of nonstop hits to start your day. Don't forget, we got another code coming up for you. The first code of the day for 30 grand in your hand just after 8 o'clock. All right, so a little situation at Starbucks. Gianna was on her way to work and placed a mobile order, right?
Yeah, so I placed a mobile order and it sat out for like 10 minutes on the counter, but not in the mobile order space. It was halfway through being made. So I was kind of wondering if the worker at any coffee shop is working on your order for that long and you see the ice start melting like I did this morning, should you be able to ask for a new one? I'm just curious, or am I being a Karen?
And he admitted that he forgot about it.
Yeah.
And it had not been touched.
No, and you know what? I'm usually like not very picky when it comes to food things. I just don't really care because I know everybody's working hard and stuff.
But here's the thing, that is the product at Starbucks.
And it was a $6 coffee.
I was going to say, you pay a lot of money for it too.
So I'm just kind of curious, like, am I in the right here? Do I have room to ask for a new drink? Even though the opportunity may not have presented itself in that moment. I might be past that now, but I just need to know for myself.
Desiree in East Windsor is about to make her radio debut. Right, Desiree?
That's right. Oh, my gosh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So if that was you, would you want a new drink at Starbucks?
Personally, if that was me and I spent like a decent amount of money on that order and I saw that it was just sitting there for 10 minutes, I would ask for another drink. Also, I feel like if you order iced coffee, you want the ice to be in your coffee. Like, it doesn't really taste good if it's watered down. And personally, I don't think Gianna was being a Karen. I would have done the same. I would have asked for another drink.
Thank you.
See, she wants to be a Karen, but she can't. Her anxiety gets the best of her.
I totally get that. I mean, I kind of want to be a Karen sometimes, but I think I'm too nice of a person to do that.
That's it. You know what? I love that. I love that so much. Oh, my gosh.
See, you should have just asked. And here's the thing. Sometimes when you ask and there's a lot of people there, like if there were a lot of people there, I'm not sure I would have asked because then you're holding up a line. You know what I mean? You were the only one there.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you would have asked, he probably would have made you a new drink with no problem because you really didn't have anything else going on.
Do they get charged when they make multiple drinks? I was wondering that. Like, is there, I can't imagine,
I don't think so.
Not in a Starbucks, but I don't know that. I would be curious to ask a Starbucks worker.
I don't think so because there's been times where we've gone through the drive-thru and the order's been wrong. Like, we asked for no berries and there were berries in it. And we've said, here, you can have this one back. And they say, nah, it's fine. Just take it anyway. You know what I mean?
That's what I thought.
They don't seem concerned.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if they had to ring it up and acknowledge a mistake or something.
That actually is a really good point.
I don't believe
think
so.
But I don't know. If you're a Starbucks worker, definitely, give us a call.
Yeah, if you're a barista anywhere, I'd be curious.
Anywhere.
Because, I'm a Dunkin' girlie, and I've done that before there, and I wonder if they get in trouble.
Chrissy in Bordentown said that they work at Wawa, and if they make in the specialty drink area, which is like the iced coffee is the one you order on the iPad, and they wait until the customer comes in to put ice in the coffee and all the toppings.
So it's completely fresh. I get it.
That is next level customer service right there.
No, boy, think about that. It is their product. And if they want you to like it and come back, that's probably the smartest thing to do, right? So really, he should have just not, well, though, I don't think he meant to,
no, I mean,
I think he honestly forgot yours.
Yeah, and everybody gets sidetracked. I just feel, everybody has things to do. Louisa and Lawrence said, gee, I would have asked nicely if he or she could have redone it as soon as the person said, oh, I started that 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, he admitted it.
A lot of people in the app chat are saying that I should have said something, definitely, which makes me feel better about my life. This one app chat says, send an email and get that gift card, girl.
Oh, okay. You're like Joe.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
All the time, don't you, Joe?
I do that. Oh, my God, all the time.
What have you gotten?
It's just been, all the time. If something's a little off, and not in a bad way, like, I'm a faithful customer. I am for the businesses I love. But if something's a little off, yeah, especially because Gianna's a faithful Starbucks goer.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Joe's gotten free cookies.
Yeah.
I saw that cookie coupon from the day that my cookies were a little cracked in the package, actually, to be honest.
I think I am going to actually, you know what? This actually works out better because now I can write an email to Starbucks. I can be a Karen through the comfort of my computer. And now I can get a gift card for another drink. All I had to do was suffer, quote unquote, through one crappy cup of coffee, and now I get a really good coffee.
Wait, though, was it really crappy?
Seriously. It wasn't.
It was?
Like, don't get me wrong. It was not the worst coffee I've ever had, but it was not
the best.
Wonderful. And for $6, I want a wonderful
I
coffee.
was going to say, if I were the manager of a Starbucks, I would want your cup of coffee to be wonderful.
Yeah, I want there to be latte art and I want there to be confetti coming out of it if it's $6.
Here's what's coming up with Chris and the crew.
It's 7:21. Don't forget, just after 8 o'clock, we'll hook you up big time with that first code of the day for 30 grand in your head. That could be a lot of Starbucks drinks, Gianna, for absolutely free for 30 grand in your hand.
This is true. And I would use every last dollar for Starbucks.
And coming up at 7:40, we'll play Can't Be Chris. We got Kesha tickets up for grabs. Kesha going to be at she is going to be in Atlantic City at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. So make sure you're listening for that.
Chris and the crew on 94.5 PST.
It's Chris, Joe, and Gianna. Still kind of hyped up. Still talking about the eclipse. So how was your view of the eclipse yesterday?
Cloudy for many, right?
Can you believe that it was sunny all day long, bright and sunny. And then at about, 3 o'clock? Around 2:45, 3 o'clock, I started seeing clouds. I'm like, no.
They're pretty deep.
Not now. And by the time we got to, the Jersey time, like around 3:20-ish, it was so cloudy. But there were peaks. There were little breaks in the clouds. So I did get to see, I would say, 80 or 90%, which was so cool. And I'd seen it before that at 50%. It was really amazing.
But you had a friend who you called crazy at first. 3 weeks ago, my crazy friend's going somewhere.
Yeah,
now you have jealousy, don't you?
I've got my friend Lisa on the phone, and she drove to Totality. Hey, when did you get home? You just got home late last night, right, Lisa?
We did. Hi, guys. Good morning. We got home at around 10 p.m.
So this had been her plan for a while, right? You had this all mapped out. You've got a trailer. Tell everybody what you did.
Yes. So I am obsessed with solar eclipses and being in totality. And I knew that I would regret not going to see the totality of it. And so I convinced my husband, who, for the most part was okay with it, thought I was a little nuts like Chris. We packed up our hiker trailer and we drove to a town called Chittenango, which is in New York, about 4 hours away, which is great. We did some boondocking. We had some lovely meals, great quality time. I woke up yesterday morning and saw that the path of totality had shifted, and I almost had a nervous breakdown because now we were not in totality. We were in 99.9%.
Oh, God.
And Wally was like, that's fine. And I said, it is absolutely not fine. Let's pack it up. Let's go. So we had to drive. Luckily, it was only about 6 miles west in a town called Fayetteville, and we found a beautiful lake called Green Lake State Park. And so we got there, sort of, unpacked a bit, made some sandwiches, took a 2-mile hike around a beautiful glacier lake. And then we, proceeded to put on our glasses, and we were with a community of about, maybe 1,000 or 1,500 people. And so we were watching the eclipse, and then literally at 2:30, clouds rolled in, and they were pretty dark clouds. We did have patches of breaking, so we did get to see, pieces of the eclipse. But we did experience totality. There was a clearing in the sky. It got very dark. It looked like there was a sunrise around the entire horizon of the earth. Everyone was cheering and clapping, and it was magical and mesmerizing and fantastic. Now, I would not change a thing, but after we saw that, we wound up leaving, and it took us 5 hours to get home.
Oh, no.
Because everybody had driven where you were, pretty much,
Yes.
right? I was surprised at how many people, I admit, I thought my bestie was crazy. But after hearing all the stories of all the people that drove to Totality, I don't think you're as crazy. You weren't the only one.
No, in fact, many, many people, drove over to New York from Delaware, New Jersey, Maryland. We were talking to quite a few couples and families that had done that. I had some friends that drove up to, the western section of Maine. So no, I actually didn't feel as crazy when I felt validated hearing all of the other folks in their travel plans.
Yeah.
Did you get oddly emotional when it happened too?
You know what, Joe, I was watching the NBC coverage.
Yeah,
and they
all
were
those
interviewing an astronomer right at Totality. I forget where they were. And, he whips off his glasses because you were allowed to have glasses off for 3 minutes or whatever. And he was getting misty. He was emotional. And he said you could hear people around him crying.
That's what I kept seeing on TV yesterday. Was people crying, and I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that the sun in this. But listen, I've never been there. And there's a big difference. There is a big difference, in Lisa's credit, between 99% and 100%. 99% is just a cloudy day. 100% is night.
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, even around here where we got clouds and it didn't really get dark here. It just seemed like a cloudy day. But I thought it was cool. You could tell us what you saw and where you were, what you were doing right now in the 94.5 PST app chat.
Chris and the crew. Here's what's coming up on 94.5 PST.
Coming up at 7:40 in just a few minutes, we're going to play Can't Beat Chris. Chris is on a 19-day streak. We got Kesha tickets at the Hard Rock and AC up for grabs if you take her on today.
Chris and the crew. 94.5 PST. It's Can't Beat Chris. Can't Beat Chris on 94.5 PST.
It's my favorite time of the morning. It's Can't Beat Chris. Today's contestant is Britt in New Hope.
All right, Britt, you ready to take me on?
I do want to take you on and Can't Beat Chris.
Oh, man, I hear people in the background. You can't get all that help. It's got to be just you.
Oh, it's my husband, and he's useless.
So here's the deal. I'm going to step out of the room right now. Joe and Gianna are going to give you 3 questions. You do your best. I'm going to come back in, answer the same 3, and we'll see who wins, okay?
All right, sounds great.
All right, good luck.
Thank you. I need it.
Humility goes a long way. That was very humble. All right, Chris is gone, and we're absolutely on your side, all right?
Awesome.
All right, first question. Kristen Stewart is celebrating a birthday today. What famous vampire movie did she star in with Robert Pattinson?
I'm already failing. I don't know. I want to say the Vampire Chronicles, but I know that's not right.
Vampire Chronicles. There we go. Quinta Brunson is currently both the producer and star of a show set in Philadelphia Elementary School. What's the name of that show?
Abbott Elementary.
Number 3. Name the movie based on this clip.
Harvard Law School? 3. Harvard won't be impressed that you aced History of Polka Dots. What are your backups?
I don't need backups. I'm going to Harvard.
I don't know, but I'm going to guess Legally Blonde.
I'd call that a solid guess, right, Gianna?
We're liking that answer over here.
We like that answer. Can't Be Chris, powered by Legoland Discovery Center, Philadelphia. Jump into a world of creativity, color, and playful learning. Info and tickets, philadelphia.legolanddiscoverycenter.com. Hi, Chris.
Well, let's give it a go here.
Chris, the first one is Kristen Stewart is celebrating a birthday. What famous vampire movie did she star in with Robert Pattinson?
Twilight.
You said Twilight. She said Vampire Chronicles. Twilight is the correct answer.
Oh.
Chris is out to a 1-0 lead. Number 2. Quinta Brunson is currently both the producer and star of a show set in a Philadelphia elementary school. What is the name of that show?
It's called Abbott Elementary.
It is Abbott Elementary. You both said that. You're both correct.
Yes.
Chris is out to a 2-1 lead, though.
Not surprised. Chris is the reigning champ.
Third and final question. Name the movie based on this clip.
Harvard Law School?
3.
Harvard won't be impressed that you aced History of Polka Dots. What are your backups?
I don't need backups. I'm going to Harvard.
That is Legally Blonde.
You both said Legally Blonde, and you're both correct.
Oh, but I got her, though.
I know what time it is. My name is Britt, and I cannot beat Chris.
Britt, you gave it a good try, but unsuccessful today. But you know what? Just for being here, we got tickets for you. You want to go see Kesha at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City?
Sure, sounds great. Thank you.
You got it. Yeah, going to be Wednesday, July 3rd. Tickets are on sale now through hardrockhotelatlanticcity.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Listen tomorrow morning at 7:40 for another chance to beat Chris on 94.5 PST. It's Chris and the Crew's Daily Scoop.
So what'd you think of the eclipse? If you missed it for some reason, like if your boss wouldn't let you out or I don't know, whatever it was, don't worry. The next big one that cuts through the U.S. is in 2045. It'll be here before you know it.
Oof, I hope not. I don't want it to be 2025. I'm good right now.
Yeah, it's a long way away. Do you know that Google searches for "my eyes hurt" skyrocketed right after the eclipse ended?
I can't lie. I kind of had a little bit of a headache yesterday, but I think I was bringing it on myself. I think I had anxiety.
Oh my God, Gianna, I had a little bit of a stomach ache and I was afraid to say it.
I think we may be bringing this on ourselves,
Joe,
but I don't know.
I was a little nauseous, I swear to God.
It's because you're not used to looking up.
Maybe that was it. So if you did stare at the eclipse, the Weather Channel posted a list of symptoms to look out for, like headaches, blurred vision, and a blind spot in one or both of your eyes. The good news is, though, Gianna, don't freak out. it will kind of like resolve on its own, especially if you only peeked for like a couple of seconds. Do you know one of my neighbors was outside? I went running across the street. He was looking at it through just his sunglasses, his regular sunglasses.
Where we were with all of those clouds, it was fine.
He
No.
started yelling, "Stop looking! Stop looking!"
No, that's
God,
not
your
true,
neighbor-
Joe.
Where we were with all of those clouds, you
No.
were fine. Chris over there, if you were my neighbor, I would have told you to pipe down, woman.
Joe, you obviously know nothing about the sun. When you go to the beach and the UV index is a 9 and it's cloudy, the UV index is still a 9.
But Chris was saying that his sunglasses weren't good enough, Gianna.
I was worried about him.
Well, okay. Well, maybe I'm on Joe's side.
Come on, you needed special glasses
Who
to
are
look
you
at
to
it.
tell your neighbor what to do?
I was trying to save him from going blind. Anyway, is Lady Gaga engaged? Oh my God. So she was spotted with this massive diamond ring on that finger. On Sunday, she was kind of strolling around West Hollywood. Her boyfriend has been the same one for a while, Michael Polanski. They've been together since 2019, but I kind of thought they broke up. Remember we heard that rumor that they broke up because they couldn't agree on marriage and kids and stuff like that. But they were spotted together again, and she's definitely wearing this massive ring. So it looks like she's engaged. And so how'd you do on your bracket? UConn beat Purdue last night, 75-60. This is the first back-to-back NCAA basketball title since Florida did it back in 2006 and 2007. That's kind of impressive.
Purdue, my mom's pick because she liked the chicken.
That's right.
True.
How did your bracket do, Joe, after all your mom's picks?
Actually, pretty good. Purdue went pretty far, so it wasn't the end of it. Wasn't the end of it. I'll put it that way.
There's a scoop.
Here's what's coming up with Chris and the crew.
Just after 8 o'clock, we got the first code for you. Yeah, 30 grand in your hand is going on right now. That could be a new car, cash. Imagine that, no card payments for you. So download the 94.5 PST app. Get ready because we're going to give you codes every hour all day long. You get 10 chances every weekday to win some money. Or it's sponsored locally by Dogs and Cats Rule for all natural pet foods and supplies. Online at dogsandcatsrule.pet.
Chris and the crew, 94.5 PST.
It's 810, 94.5 PST, your number one hit music station. Going commercial free at 10 o'clock for you. Yeah, another 94-minute commercial free music sweep at 10 o'clock. We know you just got to the office. You just starting your day, just grabbing that first cup of coffee. We want to get your day going for you. It's Chris, Joe, and Gianna. All right, here we go.
94.5 PST.
Good job, everybody.
It's not your job. I want to be like doing my job.
It's What's My Job?
Allie in Philly is here, and she's going to come on and tell us her salary, which is always a little like, what? Because who talks about their salary, right? Hey, Allie, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
How much do you make per year?
80,000.
Ooh, good girl.
Love it.
All right. So we're going to ask you some yes or no questions real quick to kind of give everybody hints. And then we're going to try to guess what your job is, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I'll go first. Do you have patience?
Yes.
See that? I'm getting good at this.
Did she mean a T or a C, though? Patience?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
No, I meant like the
patient
people
person.
that you work with. Do you call them your patients?
Yeah.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
Just wanted to clarify.
Okay.
Do you work Monday to Friday exclusively?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Do you wow, this is so I'm assuming you work in the medical field. Let's clear it up.
Yes, to some extent, it's medical field.
Okay, medical field.
Do you have to keep your work confidential?
Yes.
Joe, one more.
Chris is all there, all proud of herself. She's all giggly. Did you get extra training for that? Like, did you go to school beyond undergrad?
Yes.
Okay.
And do you own your own practice?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so we got all yeses and a no there. All right, do me a favor, Allie. We're going to put you on hold, so just hang out for a minute. We're going to have people call in and see if we can guess what your job is, okay?
Okay, sounds
Okay,
good.
sounds good. All right, hold on. Ooh, we got a lot of clues there.
Yeah, we
All
did.
right, so what's her job? Give us a call right now, 609. It's It's 8:17. Good morning. It's Chris and the crew on 94.5 PST, your number one hit music station. Going commercial free at 10 o'clock. Yeah, another 94-minute commercial free music sweep. It's over an hour and a half of nonstop hits for you. Start at 10 o'clock. It's Chris, Joe, and Gianna. We're playing What's My Job. Allie, one of our listeners, told us she makes $80,000 a year.
Oof.
We asked her some yes or no questions to kind of give you some hints. She is in the medical field. She has patients. She does not work for herself, right? She says she doesn't own her own practice.
No.
What she does is confidential. Did I get them all? I think I did.
She has more than an
more
undergrad
schooling.
degree.
Right.
Yeah.
She went to more school than just undergrad. All right, let's go to the phones. We've got Dom and Ben Salem on the line. Hey, Dom, you think you know what she does?
I do.
Go ahead, tell us.
I do. Physician assistant.
A PA.
Okay.
Do they
That's a good
make
guess.
only? I would think they'd make more. No?
I don't know.
All right,
Maybe
let's-
just starting out.
Maybe. All right, let's go to Corinne in Jersey. Hey, Corinne, what do you think she does?
I think she's a medical coder for the insurance companies.
Oh. That's a good guess.
Okay.
That is a good guess.
That would make sense that she didn't. But does she have patients? She really
Well,
just works.
She may be
behind the
talking to them,
scenes.
though. You'd be talking to some
Yeah.
of the patients.
A
Yeah.
coder
True.
talks to patients?
For the insurance. Yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
for insurance.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh,
Yeah.
so they're the ones that like wheel the little cart in and take all your information and
A
stuff.
lot of times. Yeah, and then they have to
Yeah.
code the procedure.
Any guesses in the 94.5 PST app chat?
Katie in Bridgewater said a dental hygienist. Judy in Flemington said physical therapist. Carly in Princeton also said physical therapist. Nikki in Jackson just said therapist. Kate in South Brunswick said, I think she does cosmetic surgeries. I'm also seeing occupational therapist. So there's a lot of different therapists being.
Dental hygienist and physical therapist came up the most, though. I will say
Yeah.
that.
I'll tell you though, that's not my guess. Well, you know what? Let's bring her on. Hey, Allie.
Hi.
Has anybody guessed it yet? You were able to hear all the guesses, right?
Yes, they were very close.
Ooh, close, but not. See, I have a different guess. And that was specifically why I asked my question about confidentiality. I'm thinking that you're a mental health therapist. Joe, what do you think?
I'm going to go with what everyone else said, dental hygienist.
Gianna?
I think I'm going to go. I wanted to go with dental hygienist too.
Okay.
I was going to try and change it up from Joe,
Are
but
teeth confidential?
I think
Yes.
any patient
All
doctor
medical
relationship
jobs
is
are confidential.
All right.
Do you want
so-
your record sold, Chris?
No. All right, Allie, you've heard all of our guesses now. What's your job?
I am an addiction therapist.
Oh, so that would be mental health, Chris.
That would be mental health,
See?
Chris.
I was on the right track.
You're doing
there.
great work, though. We appreciate all that you do.
Yes,
That's
seriously.
incredible work. Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on and playing. That was fun.
Yep. Have a good one.
You too.
Here's what's coming up with Chris and the crew.
Look at that.
I'll give
I'm
that
up
to you,
now.
Chris. I'll
I've
give that
had
to
a
you.
couple of wins recently.
that
I
to
think
you.
I'm zeroing in on my questions. That's what it is. All right, coming up at, let's see, 8:48, we're going to do the scoop. So I found out why Morgan Wallen got arrested yesterday. And oh my God, who was spotted wearing a massive diamond ring? I think she got engaged. I'll fill you in.
Chris and the crew on 94.5 PST.
Yeah, so there's something that a lot of people think we should get rid of in 2024, and your grandma would probably cry about this. Maybe even your parents, too. It's Chris, Joe, and Gianna, 8:29. Don't forget, another code for you for 30 grand in your hand coming up just after 9 o'clock.
So apparently half of Gen Zers, at least half of Gen Zers, according to a new poll, say that table manners are not a thing anymore and it just doesn't matter.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
Like loud chewing,
Oh.
holding silverware wrong,
Joe.
I am not here for the loud chewing.
not for the loud chewing. But I can't lie, as a Gen Zer myself, I do not like sitting at a formal table in someone's house. It's not fun to me.
Can I ask, do you mean a quote unquote formal like table, or do you mean sitting at a table
Together.
like a human being, period?
Sitting at a table together.
So you mean t-shirts and jeans and paper plates at a table is what you...
I'm okay
she
with,
said
like-
formal, right, Chris?
She said formal. But
That's
do you
formal
mean
to me.
The paper plates and just sitting around a table is formal to
I don't
you?
like sitting around a table. I don't like to sit next to you and hear you chew You know what I mean?
You know how I am about chewing.
No, I know. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like sitting so close to somebody at a table. It's not about the talking. I'm okay with sitting in a living room setting or like an outdoor table setting where there's space. But sitting at a dining room table.
You never had family dinner growing up?
I mean, like, yeah, but most of the time we have like a bar top setting in our kitchen.
Oh, so
and we
it's
would
just
kind of
there.
like eat there.
Okay.
So we never did, hey, you set the table, you put the fork and knife down. I'm also an only child. Like, I didn't have,
Right.
hey,
There's not a
you
lot of you.
Right. And so it's kind of, we just sit at the bar.
You know what matters? You know, I guess you could say chewing with your mouth open is a manner or whatever. There is one manner that I think, my grandparents used to get on me all the time about this, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. The elbows on the table thing.
I know sometimes it's a
Who
logistics.
cares? Sometimes I catch myself doing it, even at a restaurant. Like afterwards, we'll just kind of lean in and talk. It doesn't matter if your elbows are on the table.
That doesn't bother me. There's not very many manner things that bother me, unless you're just disgusting. Like, obviously, they're just disgusting.
Right.
people.
Like, okay, let me ask you. Do you care if the person across from you has their napkin on their lap?
No. I don't
That's a
care
them.
what you
That's
do.
I don't do either.
That's going to become a them problem, isn't it,
Yeah.
Chris? Because like they're going to get messy on their lap. Their problem, not mine.
Well, and I think you need your napkin kind of up where you got easy access to it, like we're next to you on the table.
I agree. And
I
if
think that one can go away. I don't think I definitely don't care if you guys have your napkins on your lap. Nowadays, I'll only do it if I see that everybody else at the table has done it too.
if I'm in a really fancy restaurant or something, I will put my napkin on my lap, but that's kind of it.
I have more follow-up questions because you said a fancy sit-down dinner could include a paper plate in your house. When you say at a fancy dinner, do you mean
Where is
when you're
that?
at the Ewing Diner? Do
At
you
McDonald's.
mean
No,
at
I'm kidding.
McDonald's?
No, if you're going out to like a steakhouse or something, if you're going to KC Prime, you know KC Prime in
Napkin
Lawrence.
on your lap?
Yeah,
Okay.
napkin on your lap. But I'm not going like in my house and putting my napkin on my lap. That I'll just go change my pants if I drop sauce or something on it, like whatever.
Just going out to eat just torment you because you have to sit around a table, Gianna?
It's not as much going out. It's being in and sitting at a table.
Here's another one for you. What about the you don't eat anything at the table until everyone is served?
I don't believe in that. That's a myth to me.
I still follow that when I'm out with friends. I do because
Me
it's
too.
just because you know what it is. Because I'd say we eat pretty quickly. You know, like the whole flow. We all have to be going at it at once.
But I have to say, if I'm the one that's served last, I'll usually tell everybody, just go ahead and eat. I don't want their food getting cold.
Exactly.
Because mine's delayed for whatever reason.
Exactly.
And maybe we do have to examine these manners things in 2024.
Chris and the crew. Here's what's coming up on 94.5 PST.
Yeah. All right. Coming up at 8:48, we're going to do the scoop. So I found out why Morgan Wallen tossed that chair from that Nashville rooftop bar and got arrested. He says there was a good reason. And oh my God, who may have gotten engaged wearing a big old diamond ring on that finger? It's coming up 8:48. We'll do the scoop on 94.5 PST.
Chris and the crew. 94.5 PST. It's Chris and the crew's Daily Scoop.
You know how I told you that Morgan Wallen got arrested yesterday for throwing a chair off a rooftop bar down in Nashville? Well, I'm hearing buzz that the little outburst was because he found out right before that his ex-fiance, KT Smith, eloped, got married to another guy. Boo-hoo. He could have hurt somebody.
Yeah, you know how I have felt about him in his
know.
rise to fame. He's claimed he's been, fixed all his troubles.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that a good reason.
This is like the fourth time he's been in trouble.
I know. So Gypsy Rose Blanchard making her breakup official.
Yes, Gypsy.
She just filed for divorce from her husband, Ryan. We don't know exactly what happened, but he spoke out the other day and said, oh, you're going to find out more on that Lifetime special. He'll tell you much more.
You know what my favorite thing that Gypsy's ever said? She was like, I'm living my best life and y'all can't take that from me. So that's how she talks.
Gianna does a good gypsy
Good
voice.
impression.
Hey guys.
Oh, Gianna, that was creepy.
So Lady Gaga was spotted wearing this massive diamond ring. And yes, it was on that finger. So was she engaged? So she's had a boyfriend since 2019, although there were some breakup rumors maybe last year because they couldn't agree on marriage and kids, but I think they're still going strong. And I'll tell you, this definitely looks like it's a solitaire. I mean, like it's the color, it's everything.
It's huge.
It's huge. It's massive.
It looks like a lollipop on her finger. Like it's giant.
I need her to confirm. I don't have it confirmed, but it looks like she's engaged. So what'd you think of the eclipse? If you missed it, we were just talking about this. You have to wait till 2045 for the next one. That's the one that goes across the U.S. And Joe, you already know its path.
Yeah. All the past we know.
So where's this one?
This one will go south. It'll go into Florida. The next chance at totality in this area, 2077.
Oh boy.
I think my clock will have expired.
I hate talking about that stuff. And your bracket. How'd you do with your bracket? UConn beat Purdue 75-60 yesterday. This is the first back-to-back NCAA basketball title since like 2006 and 2007 when Florida did. So that's pretty cool.
Shout out to our coworker Sean. I'm going to kiss his butt a little bit because
he
won the office one, meaning he gets a $500 prize for the office. He's an office a little south of us. Sean, we love you. Congratulations. We'd love to be a part of your bonding experience.
Yes.
Meaning we want to come to the free happy hour. All right, there's the scoop.
Chris and the crew, 94.5 PST.
At 10 o'clock with Wade, it's 94.5 PST, your number one hit music station. Yeah, that's over an hour and a half of nonstop hits to get your day started. Get that second cup of coffee, kind of get you going for the day. It's Chris, Joe, and Gianna. Looking pretty good out there now. Some sun, but clouds coming in later in the day. Up to about 73. Right now we're at 57 at PST.
So some celebrities are more connected than you may think, and these connections are kind of blowing my mind right now. It's crazy. Did you know that Elton John is Eminem's AA sponsor?
Had no idea.
They're like apparently really close because of this, and they bonded.
Wow, how do they even run into each other that happens?
I know. It's really crazy, and especially being a part of the same program and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Another one is Cameron Diaz went to high school with Snoop Dogg. And she said in an interview, she was like, I think I bought weed from him one time.
Probably. Probably everyone did.
Meghan Markle made the invitations for Robin Thicke's wedding in 2005 because she was working as a calligrapher before she...
Oh, my God. Before she became a royal?
Before she became a royal.
Oh, that's kind of crazy to think about.
Right? Another one that was kind of weird, Ed Sheeran slept on Jamie Foxx's couch for 6 weeks when he first moved to L.A.
How do they even
know
that is kind of weird. How do they even know each other?
Yeah, because, Ed was homeless in England when he was I'm pretty sure when he was discovered or at some point in his career. So it's kind of weird. Like, how did he even meet Jamie Foxx?
I know.
This last one, absolutely mind-blowing. So Martin Luther King Jr. paid the hospital bills when Julia Roberts was born. Julia Roberts, the actress.
Like Pretty Woman and all those other movies.
Because Julia's parents let his kids attend their theater school at a time when few programs would offer integrated programs for theater. So he paid for all of the hospital bills when she was born.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
That is. That's kind of cool, though.
It's amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's 9:14. It's Chris and the crew. Hey, another code for you coming up for 30 grand in your hand just after 10 o'clock.
Chris and the crew on 94.5 PST. It's Chris and the Crew's Daily Scoop.
So what did you think of the eclipse? I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, it got kind of cloudy as we got towards that peak.
Yeah.
But, there were some breaks in the clouds, so I got to see some at least 80 to 90, right? It was very cool. So the next time we're going to get to see it, 2045 in the U.S.
Oof.
We got a while to go. So I think I found out the reason Morgan Wallen got arrested, or what led up to it, I should say. So he got busted for throwing a chair off a rooftop bar down in Nashville. The chair landed 3 feet from a cop.
But that's also really
It could have hurt someone.
I was just about to say, could have landed on someone's head.
Absolutely. Well, I'm hearing buzz now that his little outburst was because he found out that his ex-fiancée, KT Smith, had gotten married to another guy.
And look, whatever.
Who cares?
I'm not a fan of him, and maybe you're upset, but that doesn't give you an excuse to do that. Go home and punch a pillow and call it a day.
Seriously, or have another drink and let your friends kind of help you out a little bit there out of the bar. So
worst.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard making her breakup official. She just filed for divorce from her husband, Ryan. We don't know exactly what happened, but Ryan spoke out recently for the first time and he said, "Oh, wait till you see.
Gypsy
It's going to be in that Lifetime special."
Gypsy filed for divorce.
Yep.
Got together again with her old man's. Got a nose job.
Yep.
All in 1 week.
She's been busy.
She's on a high right now.
You do a good Gypsy.
Thank you.
So you know who's a secret Swiftie? This is going to crack you up, Gianna. So Calvin Harris's wife admits to listening to Taylor, but only when he goes away.
Oh my gosh.
You know, Calvin and Taylor dated, and that's kind of awkward. You can't be blasting Taylor Swift music when he's home. 'Cause
Well.
he's like, "Arr."
Sounds
So-
like a Calvin problem.
When he goes away, she dances, sings around the house, listens to it as much as she can.
That's funny. I love
She's
that.
a secret Swiftie. And Britney, right, in no hurry to restart her music career. All she does is dance on Instagram. So an OnlyFans manager, her name is Celeste Franklin, thinks that Britney could make about $100 million a year if she joined OnlyFans.
I agree. She would make an insane amount of money.
Britney has no interest apparently in OnlyFans right now, but hey, I mean, if she's going to do the same thing, why not? Make some money.
Why not make a profit? I'm here for it. I would even subscribe, I
The
think.
last video was so cringy. She's got her boobs like completely in the camera, like pushing them together. She does the same dance move over and over.
It's the twirl for me, but I am here for it.
I'm here for her just doing her thing. But girl, I feel like she needs a little therapy to deal with all of this.
It keeps me
You know what I mean?
entertained. Her dancing does entertain me.
All right, there's the scoop.
Chris and the crew, 94.5 PST.